Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense. I try to keep it down under the nitty gritty, under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very fucking important. And not important to liberals, libertards, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Basically, those individuals who cannot think on cloud nine, people who live in fear, skedaddle, go away. I don't need your kind around here. Only the elite can actually listen to my voices and also my own voice, because my voice can sound pretty annoying to those people who have not a good ear. Of course, I have a radio broadcasting voice, of course. WT 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Listener's discretion is advised. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast, you put it down below. Now, this video is going to be pertaining to being human and human behavior. Now, I'm going to tell you, like, right now, before in my past, I've said this before, I'm 60% unhappy in this world by being human. Why is that? Why is this? The first thing I don't like about being human, okay, now I may have come here in this video game world, this Matrix, thinking I can handle it, of course. But I can. I'm doing fine. I think I'm doing pretty fine. But the major things that I don't like about it is that you can't metamorphosize yourself. You can't transform your face to whatever you want, okay? You may need to do what Cyberpunk in the video game is coming out, Cyberpunk 2077, where you get to augment yourself, which would be cool. Okay, I would like that idea before I die, okay, to replace my heart, to replace certain segments of my dead brain, if I have a dead brain somewhere, to be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's the first thing. You cannot metamorphosize yourself. You can't transform it. Number two, we have short lifespans, like 100 years, less than 100 years, depending on how you take care of yourself, who you're hanging around, okay, you know. I believe that that's a major flaw. I believe that the more pure heart, that's number two, lifespan. Number three is basically, pure heart. Those individuals with pure hearts, like myself, should have more power than what is expected. I have the power of voice and power to prophesize and stuff like that, but not really in that sense that when you predict things, but it's like, I just know something's going to bad happen to you. If you put a spell on me, I just know it's going to happen. I think it's perpetualness, okay? But other than that, I believe that people who suffer in this life should gain more power than what they really have. And I don't think it's fair, okay? What else did I don't like about humans, okay? Being human, as a matter of fact. When you're born in this world, that's another thing. And number four, you are born with what you're given. Okay, so let's say you have a disposition, automatically you're born with blindness, or you're retarded, or you're autistic in any kind of way. Your memory. I always try to learn about how to improve on my memory, but it's very hard to do unless you're trying to take a pill. Okay, that's the thing I don't like about being human. The ability to be born in this life and you have a genetic disposition. Okay. The fifth thing is memory. Now, there are people who I've met in my life. Oh my fucking God. The fifth thing is very important because I usually try to improve my memory, okay, as best as I can. And I met some guys who are just savants. They just could see something once and just remember it. Dance something once and just remember it. Okay, and there are people who are just born with better memories, okay? And I just want you guys to know there's many other things, but I'm going to name, let me see, what else can I say? This is all unscripted, by the way. I told you this is all therapeutic as well. Another thing too, you're born a certain way. It's connected to it because if you're born in this world, okay, and you're like average looking Joe, okay, or you have some sort of disposition, loneliness could be a big problem too. Because I know a lot of times when I was younger, I used to feel really bad about myself when I was alone, especially when my teeth was all fucked up at the time. But then I realized those things can be fixed. Some things can be augmented. And everybody needs to augment certain things about themselves in order to feel good about themselves. First things first, if you're a human, you must try to keep yourself healthy at all times. And you women out there, you need to stop wearing makeup and stop putting on these fake beauties, these poisons on your face, because it's not making you look any prettier when you take it off. But other than that, I tell all the females I've ever dealt with, you're naturally beautiful. Take that shit off. I always tell them that shit. Because I have the gift of gab, and I'm not lying. So if you want to look beautiful, you take that shit off. You might want to put a little bit of olive oil in your hair, but don't put too much makeup on and all that shit. I told my wife that. She didn't hear me. Okay, you know how women don't compliment men as much as men compliment women, but that's another subject. But those are the things I don't really like about being human. And also bacteriums, okay? Things that can harm your body. I may go over 10 minutes with this. Things that you can't see, get up in your nostrils, that's the first place you get sick at. Or your mucous membranes, your areas, you gotta watch, you keep them. When I sleep, I don't, bugs get into your mouth, right? So I take a thin sheet and I put it over my mouth, okay? Put it on my face. So no bugs will get in, okay? You got to watch yourself from walking outside in certain areas, around certain people. You got to be very paranoid. And if you're not paranoid, you just lose your life. It's that simple. And another thing, too, life is too short. You get shot in certain vital areas, you die, okay? Why can't you just take it out and fix it yourself, okay? So people tend to miss out on why they're believing in God. I say that if God exists, then he can fix anything, right? Okay, but we're not talking about God here. We're not talking about the God delusion, which most of you people have. But if you happen to be listening to my videos, welcome to your doom. But anyway, the great things about life, my life is like 60% unhappy and 40% okay. I'm okay. I think if it goes any higher to like 80%, I might not live in this world that long. I might start neglecting my health if it goes to 80. I might 90%. It's probably suicide. Okay, I might not even let it reach the 10. But other than that, I have associates and people who actually care about me, mostly in foreign lands. Okay, so if it wasn't for the foreign people, and if the foreign people hated me, and Americans didn't like me, I would probably be not here. But I exist because of multiple things, and I don't even think I need their love either, because it's not really about love. It's not really about attention for me. I just learned that, it's not really about, because before I even met the foreigners, okay, I was into myself. I just had to change some things about myself. And I got angry. And when you get angry, you use that energy to fix yourself. But anyway, let's talk about human behavior. Life is really easy, okay? And then people call me a psychopath for studying human psychology and psychosis and using dark psychology on the evil and the wicked. So when you got people out there you're not your best intentions, the best way to test humans is to use dark psychology and also to test them. Test them before your heart. Because my wife, even if you test them, they may fail if you put them in certain different environments. So you have to test them like Mr. Raymond Reddington, which I try to recommend people to watch that TV series, which is maybe on HBO and also on Netflix, The Blacklist. But I'm not going to tell you what The Blacklist is about. I'm just going to tell you he's a CIA KGB operative who works on both sides of the fence. Okay? That's all I can say. And he gave himself into the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. And the story goes on from there. Starts off good, and it's still good. It's still running now. I'm on the 7th season, goddammit, on episode 9. Very good shows. His name is James Spader. Okay? Excellent actor. But to understand human psychology is not very hard. You give them a test in both environments or multiple environments, and then you see how long they can last. Mr. Reddington killed many people who failed this test, and it's sad. You do not cross the line with a person who's thinking on that capacity of times 10. You just don't do it. And so nonsense. And me, you have to be paranoid, because if you're just out there in the opening, you're taking a risk. But I basically love taking challenges. I do like it from a distance, okay? From a distance. It's good to watch things from a distance, okay? But other than that, that's all I really wanted to say about human behavior and also the bad things about being human. In my next life, I want to be someone like a lizard species, okay? Some species that's much more higher evolved than humans. But then on top of that, I may want to come back and forth just to experiment on what it is like to be human. But I understand what it's like to be human. Human beings are a very childless-like race, okay? And when you're like an elite, hanging around a bunch of fools everywhere you go, you tend to might like it because it's full of excitement. but it's also full of danger. This is why you have to be careful of your surroundings, guys. Okay? Be careful of your surroundings. And those individuals who do listen to me after they listen to my cringy video, congratulations, the universe has brought you to me. You have to pass the test. Anyone who makes fun of me without asking any questions is a fool and still not evolved yet. They're not curious enough. They're not well developed the brain on left brain hemisphere or logical sense. Okay, they're not. Okay, and I usually try to not articulate my words complex to make myself a better person than everyone. I don't do that. Okay, and if you just keep it simple and understand that we live in a matrix, anything is possible. Especially if other beings cross over into our dimension, then it will just blow your mind like popcorn. Pop, pop, pop. You'd be like, damn, man, I wish I wasn't human. Because our minds and our bodies have very limited capabilities, babies. Okay? You can't possibly say that humans can do everything because they can't. But other than that, let me get off out of here now here. What I learned in this life so far is to keep yourself healthy. Always use reverse psychology, reflective abilities, spells that can help you and reflect. Never cast anything, because you never know if they're possessed or not. Some people are just possessed, and they can't control themselves. Like my ex-wife, okay, which I don't think she's my ex-wife. She just got possessed, okay. When you try to be honest with people, they're thinking you're a bad guy in any kind of way. But if a hoe came up to me and say, I like sharing my pussy, I would not see her as a bad person. I would tell her the error of her ways. But if she don't want to listen, that will only be her demise, not mine. But other than that, that's all I really wanted to say. I think it's wise to learn everything and anything, because there's a lot of boring people out there who are very, very sadistic, or probably, maybe they're not sadistic. Maybe they just are just so miserable, they want to pull you down. So you just got to stay away from them. Try to stay away from negative energy peoples. Okay? But that's all I really wanted to say about that. The negative things about being human. In my next life, I want to be someone much more higher evolved. I may want to be a demiurge god that scare the shit out of human beings. Okay? Life goes on. But what you gonna do? Take it with a grain of salt or take it not with a grain of salt? It's fucking up to you. Peace.